Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I'm so blessed and honored to be here live from Austin, Texas at the Texas SHRM Global Business Conference. It is incredible. The energy is electric, and I'm here with my very good friend, Maryam Shahnazi from Tenaris, and the queen of the conference. I'm sorry, I'm going to call you that. How you doing, Maryam? Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross. So blessed and honored to be here live from Austin, Texas at the Texas SHRM Global Business Conference. I'm here with my very good friend, Maryam Shahnazi, and this time we're going to do it with the mics on. Maryam, how you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm happy that we're toward the end of the conference, so it's all this hard stuff's done, so now we can start relaxing and enjoying.
Yo, get in the comments right now. Let us know if you can hear us, for goodness sakes. Love y'all out there. Yo, the speaker this morning talked about making delight out of disasters, and that resonated with me as a person who routinely creates disasters.
You routinely?
Well, I go live with my mic off. I mean, that's just like
But we're turning a disaster
into a delight.
Exactly.
And now I'm delighted to be on with you.
Yes, I think in the world of immigration, everything's a disaster, so we're having to make a delight.
Yes, we're making delights out here. You got people checking in the comments. Get in the comments. I want to know who you are, where you are. Hosea Botley checking in. What a great conference. Maryam and Ben, you're awesome. Thank you, Hosea. Game recognized.
You're awesome.
And you sponsored, a Versal sponsored. You got a
So actually, yes, thank you, Aversal and Glomo for sponsoring one of our keynote speakers. It was not cheap, so I appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate you. Thank you for the opportunity. Get in the comments here. Osway Duran saying, excited to see the energy at the Texas Global SHRM Conference. How do you see these discussions shaping future talent strategies in the mobility sector?
That's a good question. I think that the sessions are on point. We've had our immigration, our mobility session. We also have, leadership and how it can impact your team. We have mergers and acquisitions, just a little bit of everything. And I feel that in our world right now, and every day things are changing, not having these types of conferences doesn't help us. Having them does help us. It's continued education for us. We learn by others and we learn with each other as well. So I'm really excited. We've had a really good session this year, actually. I'm really proud. Shout out to Edna, our education director.
Edna Gutierrez
McDermott. She did a great job.
She will be on. There we go. That's off. You turn that off. That's off, right? You got to check the power over here.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live, but we got the wrong mic over here. Us.
It's okay. It's blooper.
Just turning disasters into delights.
Look at that.
Thank you, Daisy, behind the scenes, making stuff happen. Are we really, we're good now? Look at this. Shout out. Yo, we're going to give you the good mic here, y'all. Boom. Look at us with the professional microphones. People say, Ben, why do you do it live? Because I'm a glutton for punishment. That's why.
You like to cause disaster.
Yeah, and then fix them.
And then make it a delightful experience. Yes. Fun story.
Yes, go ahead.
I always wanted to be on Ben's podcast.
Tell it.
I was telling you the story last night. We got a little emotional. So I had seen Ben at ERC, and this was, I think, in Boston 3 years ago, I believe. I remember he was doing a show with Mauricio, and I remember turning to my friend Francisco, who will also be on this show in a few. I want to be on his podcast. I want to be his friend. Like, how? And then next thing you know, we met again in ERC in DC, had a very intimate, connection with a few other individuals, just connected on a different level. And look at us now, doing shows, conferences together, traveling, taking over the world.
Now we're very good friends, and it's been amazing to watch what you've done and with your sphere of influence, not only in Houston, but in the entire, state of Texas now, being a part of this Global Texas SHRM, conference here is it's really fantastic. And now moving it to Austin.
Yes, it's been a change. It was very, I was scared. I was like, okay, I already took a big risk this year, change jobs,
Yeah.
put myself in an uncomfortable place of having to get to know people, get to know a new company and organization. And then I said, sure, why not? Let me become director of sponsorship. I've never done this. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
A lot. But
You leaned into it though.
yeah.
But look at the room is filled with all these amazing logos.
Yes.
All these amazing people. I mean, and not just one person per company, like multiple people per company representing.
Yes, I'm really proud. I'm happy to see the turnout we have. We have a variety of sponsors. So, I mean, what more could I have asked for?
Yeah, and then you see it into the sessions.
Yeah.
The quality of the sessions. I was in several of the sessions. I couldn't go to all. There were so many sessions.
I know.
But like the immigration session that you were in,
good. That was really
fantastic, right? Some of the top immigration minds, not only in Texas, but I mean in the United States and the world, really speaking and addressing some of the issues that were really pressing right now going on. So, what were some of your takeaways or things that you found interesting in that session?
Oh, and the immigration one? Well, the whole fact that USCIS may now be able to detain people when it's always been in ICE department. That department was the only department responsible to remove anyone from the U.S. that isn't from here. So it's a bit scary, honestly. The sessions with immigration have been starting to get scary, but scary in a good way for corporates because we're trying to find strategic ways to continue having good talent in the U.S. So that was the highlight for me, really.
Yeah, that development that you commented on with USCIS having the ability to detain people, that is right now currently in the comment period, I believe.
I believe so.
Is what they said, which I honestly hadn't heard about that.
Yeah.
I also didn't know that they were armed.
Yes.
And one person brought up, which I found to be fascinating, was that they can go to your place of work to see if you're, do work site visits.
Right, your home.
But yeah, people work from home.
Right. If you have your home location on your works as one of your work site location, they can start visiting your home. It hasn't gone through yet, but the fact that they can go to where your livelihood is, just there's no sense of peace or safety or like for me, my home is my sanctuary. Mm-hmm. So when I go home, it's the one place I do feel safe because I'm in my own energy. But to now know that there may be an immigration officer that's going to show up and just I don't know what's going to happen in my own home, it's scary.
That's super scary.
Scary.
Get in the comments here, hit that like button, let us know you're out there and check in with us and what you're doing. Oh, I see our keynote speaker over there as well. She was so good.
I wonder if we can get her to speak with you for a little bit. You want me to do my magic?
Well, she was a TV anchor. She could host the damn thing for all I care. Shoot, she was so good. Her energy was so. I was actually thinking about having her coach me.
Oh,
some of my she does public speaking.
She does. That would be a good idea. Stuff. You see, the conference isn't just HR. Look.
Yeah.
Look what just happened.
She's good.
Look at what just happened.
Well, and not only that, but I also learned as I was sitting there because she was giving us like this kind of like this blueprint, based on she was using the framework of being she was using the framework of being a newscaster, and it's called News You Can Use to Lead Like You Mean It. And it's a worksheet, and one of the things I wrote down on it was that you have not only the disaster into delights because that I do that daily, create disasters, but she said you have to tell your people. You have to give them a definition of what done looks like.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? That's so true. Because if I'm ever disappointed in the end result on something, have I communicated as a leader? Have I communicated what done looks like, what it's supposed to look like when we are completed with the task? Right. And I don't necessarily know that I always do a good job of that. So I think I'm learning how to be a better leader here. And
one way you can find out, my type of leading is giving space to the people that I lead to be open to tell me how I'm not showing up for them. So maybe ask your team, have I been clear in giving my definition of done? Yeah. Not get feedback. It's always good to get feedback, even if you're a leader. Yeah. Giving feedback's one thing, but taking it is very important to be able to succeed as well.
How do you ask that in a way?
Of course, Francisco had to ruin.
Oh, you were walking behind everybody's shot yesterday, Maryam. This is karma right here. Maryam was like, can't wait till tomorrow. I'm going to cross behind you.
I was going to run at one point. I was like, okay, do I need to jog through real quick?
Power walking. You're all over the place. You're on one yesterday.
Oh my
How does
God.
it feel though? You planned this thing for so many months. And shout out to Meredith Morris,
year.
also who's been so instrumental in this. And it was her birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. But you've been planning this thing. How does it feel now? We're like in the back, like last hour of it.
Right.
How are you feeling right now? You relieved? Like,
I'm super relieved. You know, one, it takes like a village to do
Yeah.
all of this. So big shout out to everyone that's involved in our committee that has helped organize everything from education, sponsorship, logistics, everything. I'm really feeling relieved. And honestly, I'm feeling really proud.
you should be proud.
I'm super proud. It's the first time this conference is in Austin. It's for 23 years has been in Houston. And the fact that we have such a great turnout and this many sponsors have shown up, over 23 sponsors, I think I'm proud. I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
be proud of yourself.
I am.
This is pretty epic. And this is the first of many amazing things.
Okay.
Hey, get in the comments. Daisy, I see you out there. Francisco, I see you out there. Get in the comments. Go ahead. You can cross. It's fine. We call it the Shahnazi. You good. You straight. You straight. You can just do whatever you want back there.
I actually like that.
Yeah,
the Shahnazi, I might patent it.
The
I might
Shahnazi
trademark
stroll.
it.
The Shahnazi stroll.
You know what? You should start
The
using
swag,
that. When
swag
people
on
do
Shahnazi
that,
strap.
hey.
Hey. We're having too much fun. You can tell it's the end of the conference. We're over here having too much fun.
Is it my time?
I think your time is up.
My time. Well,
we
thank you
we got
guys.
Guests coming on here.
Yeah?
Yep.
All righty.
Oh, look at this.
I'll let the man of the hour take over
Oh my
now.
goodness. This is fantastic.
Thank you,
so much,
guys.
Maryam.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Get in the comments, y'all. Hit that like button. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Njsane, Courtney, have a seat, my friend. Have a seat. Stay here. Get in here tight.
Oh,
Get tight to that mic so we
get
can
all
all hear
snug
you.
here, yeah. Oh man, look,
at you
look, man,
looking
look at
good.
shirts
You
coming
got the
up.
pocket square too.
Oh, you gotta rock a pocket square,
You're
man.
looking good.
No, so somehow it got too hot. My shirt just came unbuttoned. It
Oh
was
my
crazy.
gosh.
It's so much activity
This
happening.
happens. I like it. This is great.
I'm
It's
trying to
great.
keep up with you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, look at that.
This is like 3 days in a row. You were rocking it.
We're trying out here, man. We're trying to be, just to impress,
Absolutely.
Hey, what's up, Fabiana? See you over there. Get in the comments here. Hit that like button. Let us know you're out there, though. But we got Njsane, Courtney here, and Njsane, you got a day job here, but you also got a cool podcast. I'm gonna talk about that first. I'm gonna talk about 3 things. I'm gonna talk about your podcast. I'm gonna talk about your day job and ask you some questions about that. But I'm also gonna talk. Actually, first I'm gonna ask you about what you were talking about here at the conference.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Because you were just speaking.
I was. I just got off the stage. Yeah.
So you must be feeling like real on one right now.
Well, you know how it is, that whole endorphin rush.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're coming off that high, but
Yeah,
then,
and that shirt's like the buttons are popping.
Oh,
It's just like-
that's just because I sweat like a stuck pig, man. It's crazy. No, I just got off the stage and we were talking about leadership.
Yeah.
The title of it was Betrayed by Leadership, how the trust between employees and managers has kind of eroded over
Okay.
time.
All right.
And what leaders can do to try to rebuild that trust and actions and really holding ourselves accountable for the social contract. Because
Okay.
I really think that nowadays leaders almost forget that their primary purpose is to protect employees and earn the perks. But I think somewhere along the line that's kind of gotten lost.
Well, I'm gonna push back or ask you a question about
Sure.
it. I'm gonna challenge that. Okay.
Please do.
So a leader might say, my obligation is to the company first.
Mm-hmm.
So why is that not the case?
Well, I'm not saying it's not.
Okay.
Employees are part of the company.
Yeah.
Employees
true.
are part of the organization.
You won't have a company without employees.
And let's be clear, right? Let's be clear. The employees are the ones who actually do the real work. When you get
Yeah.
promoted to management, you're no longer responsible for the work. You're now responsible for the people who do the work. And so if you really want to take care of the organization, you want to take care of the people.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. And so in your session just now, what are some of the kind of tools or advice you give people?
Well, I mean, it's honestly, there's nothing crazy innovative about what I talked about. It's really kind of bare bones grassroots discussion. It's about being authentic, showing up when times get tough. I talked a little bit about how one of the roles of leaders is to be a buffer from senior leaders. So if you have employees underneath you and your boss is upset and they start raining down fire and brimstone,
Yeah.
there's no reason that your employees 2 levels below you should feel the same impact. To whom?
Why is that important to shield them from that?
Well, because I mean, there's a couple of things. Number one, when you're in senior management, or not even senior management, just management in general, you have the professional maturity to know when things are serious and when things aren't serious.
Okay.
Right. And so sometimes your boss is having a bad day, but the problem is if you report to a VP The VP comes start shooting Zeus firebolts down to you.
Zeus firebolts.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
And it goes to one of your HR reps, somebody who's been in the business for 2 or 3 years. They don't have the maturity to realize that's just Rick. That's just
how Rick talks.
Because what's going to happen is your rep is going to go home and like, oh my God, my career's over and blah blah blah.
Guy's falling.
This guy's falling.
So freaked out they can't do anything. They're gonna freeze up.
They're gonna freeze up, or they become some mentally traumatized.
Yeah.
But then I guess the other thing is just the simple fact that to whom much is given, much is expected. And as a leader, I am compensated more than my frontline employees to take that crap.
Yeah.
I don't pay my team enough to take that.
And you're maybe paid to translate that into something that's usable and appropriate for that level.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the obligation of a leader, is to translate that to a language that your team understands, but also protecting from the dangers inside the organization and outside the organization. Right. Some of the biggest infighting, some of the biggest conflicts that teams experience is with other departments. Yeah. Right. But that's when a leader is supposed to show up, defend their team, and make sure that they're protected and they're safe.
Yeah, I think that defending the team thing is kind of key. One person once said to me, he said, don't be an asshole, but if you're gonna be one for your team.
Couldn't say it better
on behalf of your team, to protect them. And I've tried to channel my inner a-hole in this, in that constructive way.
Listen, man, sometimes you got to be an asshole.
Yeah,
man.
sometimes
you got to bring it because people need to take you seriously. Yeah. And they got to know that when a department has a leader that's going to defend their people, the team tends not to get picked on enough because they know that there's going to be consequences. But too often in HR, we become the scapegoats. We become like, oh, it's easy to blame HR because half the time we're not in the room when these things are discussed. Yeah. But they got to know, like, hey, you mess with Njsane's team, this 6-foot black man is gonna come find you.
Yeah. He's gonna be a reckoning for it.
There will be consequences.
For sure. I love that. That's fantastic. Now I got to ask you, Njsane, I came to find out you have a really cool, amazing podcast also. So can you plug that real quick for us?
Oh, absolutely. So the podcast is My Friend in HR. I started it a couple of years ago. I probably just become serious about it probably a little more than a year ago because of folks just clamoring for it. But where it came from was that there were so many situations where either my friends or colleagues had real questions about their careers. And so often HR or just the system kind of keeps it hidden, right? Not everybody grew up with a bunch of white collar folks in their families to give them career advice or how do you negotiate an offer? Yeah. When can you negotiate an offer?
Who do you talk to when you get that offer and you get that? Where's that advice come from?
Well, now it comes from My Friend in HR, right? I slid it in there.
So do people write in questions, or how do they get those kind of questions to you?
Some people, they do that now. I actually have a mailbox segment that I do at the beginning.
I love that.
And it's kind of crazy because my audience, like 25% of my audience is overseas. And so like UK, Singapore, those types of folks. But it's interesting that no matter where folks are, everybody wants the same thing. They want great careers. They want fulfilling careers. They want to feel like that their work means something. And so what My Friend in HR tries to do is we tell you, like, look, first of all, you're not a victim, right? Yeah. I equip you so that you can make the best decisions for your career. Do you quit? Do you stay? Do you ask for more money? Do you just suck it up? Do you ask for promotion? Is it time for you to quit? And we have those kinds of conversations, and I try to have a balanced approach. Yeah. It's not all about the company is evil, because the company itself isn't evil. It's just the leaders that tend to suck sometimes. Yeah,
that's it. You bring up a really interesting point, and sometimes people think that I've heard two different schools of thought, and I want your opinion on this. Some folks think that HR is there to protect the employees, and some people think that HR is there to protect the company. And you can't say both. so which is it,
I would challenge you and say, I can say both. Because here's the thing. It's true that that HR's role is to protect the company. But that's where people tend to stop listening. The company is made up of employees, right? And so it's not always about jumping to the manager's defense. Sometimes the manager is dead to rights wrong. Yeah. And the best way you protect the company is holding that manager accountable. Yeah, that's true. In terms of that. Now, where employees get frustrated, and rightfully so, is that a lot of times when situations are dealt with, they don't see it. Right?
Yes. They want a public execution.
Oh yeah, we got to hang them.
Yeah, heads. We don't see the heads roll.
Yeah, but if the manager got written up, if the manager was on suspended, if the manager got reduced pay or whatever, they're not going to see that. Nor would we go out and publicize that.
And you can't tell them.
Right. And so I get why employees say that. I get their perspective, but I can tell you, no. and good HR, right? There's good HR, there's bad HR. But if you have good HR, yes, they support the organization, they support the company, but employees are a vital part of the company, and so we're just trying to find out the truth and get to the bottom of it. And it's not always the manager being right. As a matter of fact, most times in my experience, the manager has a lot of culpability in the situation.
Yeah. Super interesting. We got people checking in here. Get in the comments, y'all. Hit that like button. Let's see here. We got folks checking in. Mike Quigley, looking forward to the show. What's up, Mike? Hey, I ran into Adrian, your CHRO, Mike, here. She was awesome. We took a selfie with her. Francisco says HR is responsible to present the vision of the organization and help employees navigate appropriately towards that vision.
Yes.
Nice, Francisco.
It is.
Hey, well said, friend. Well, you think he used AI for that?
I don't know. Are there any dashes? I don't know. That's how you can tell it's Chat GPT does that, right?
Is there a semicolon in there? That's really nice. That's good stuff. We're gonna have to ask him. He's gonna be on the show later.
You know what? But he wears fly shoes, right?
Yeah, he does.
He always has the best. So I mean, if he wants to use AI, he can. He's just that fly.
There you go. Daisy checking in. I don't want this conference to end. Such an amazing group here this week. For sure.
It has been a great couple of days, man. It has been really great.
Really
I'm almost sad for it to actually end.
It is, and Austin's such a great place for a conference. I'm so happy it's here.
You know what? But the thing about Austin makes me feel so old because I used to go to 6th Street.
Yeah.
And now that I'm almost 50, it's one of those things where like that is the last place I need to be.
Yeah.
My 50-year-old ass does not need to be on
6th Street.
No, it does not, because I will feel real old. But yeah, no, I love Austin. I love the environment. It's spectacular. I love it.
You want to feel old, dude? I went to the Lil Wayne concert on Tuesday. Okay, I expected to see people my age. No, all the UT kids were out, hook 'em, and I'm like, "Where's my people?" You know, and I'm like, and all the kids were out. I'm like,
no,
oh my
dude,
God.
no, you were old. You were
the
chaperone.
I was the oldest dude. I've never been the oldest guy in the room. What happened?
Hey man, you live long enough, eventually you're gonna be the oldest guy.
I guess if you're lucky, you're gonna be the oldest guy.
That's
in the
okay,
room.
man. But you're aging with grace, man. Look, I mean, you got the fly, you got the pocket square. You got man. Look here, look, dude.
Thank you.
We just gotta go into our age gracefully and just do what we do.
I love it. That's so fantastic. It's awesome. Njsane, I could talk to you forever. I see why you got such a successful podcast. Why don't you let people know how they can follow you and follow the pod?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, my main interface is through LinkedIn. So feel free to connect with me. Just be careful, because if you connect with me on LinkedIn, I will reach out. I'm one of those folks that does manage their network very closely. They can also follow me on YouTube under my friend in HR, and then they can also follow me on Instagram as well as X. So however you get your social media fix, I'm there. And also, I do want to say this: like, if people this month have a special, trying to help people level up their careers. So if they actually comment and subscribe on one of our videos, I'm actually doing a free executive resume review. So I'm gonna pick one person in September to get a free executive resume review. And if you comment on X, I'm gonna give folks a free LinkedIn profile review.
Oh, very nice.
All right. So just another way. Again, we gotta look out for each other, elevate each other, because I think somebody said it earlier. When the tides rise, it rises ships with it, right?
Yeah,
and so that's what HR is trying. My friend in HR is trying to do.
I love it. Very nice. Shahnazi, Courtney, thank you so much.
Hey, brother. Thanks so much. Anytime. I can't wait to talk again.
I can't wait, and I'll catch you later, man.
All right, let's go.
Sounds good.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks,
all right, we got another guest coming up here. Fantastic here. Daisy, who's next? All right. Oh, man. Oh, the man himself. The man himself. I wish, we might have to do this interview from the knee down. Honestly, we might have to do this. We got to show these kicks off, man. Are those the Travis Scotts? What are these right here? What are we working with here? Oh my God! Oh my gosh! Can we? What? You got to tell us what kind of kicks you're wearing. Here, let's get you in tight here.
All right.
What kind of kicks? Francisco Solis here, CBRE, my good friend here. What kind of kicks are you rocking now?
Today I'm doing the Travis Scott fragments. So there's about 25,000 of them in the world, and I was lucky enough to get one of them.
Wow, man! Are you a sneakerhead, man?
I was. I haven't added any sneakers in a while, but I have a good 30, 40 pairs, but I wear them. I wear them all the time. I don't have them hiding in a box.
Yeah,
they're worn on the feet.
I see people with on Instagram with closets full of Nike boxes, unopened, never worn.
Wow.
And I'm just like, that's a tragedy.
You have to.
A travesty, perhaps.
Yeah,
a Travis Scott travesty.
Travis Scott travesty. There you go. That's why you're on camera all the time.
That's right. Hey, speaking of which, look at what a celebrity we have here and our friend Francisco here, a Love and Relo veteran here. I even had to get your autograph earlier.
You know what?
Did you get hit up for a lot of autographs?
You're getting in at the basement. It's only going to go up in value. So you're the one of two that have asked for the autograph, and the other one was my daughter. So
yeah, get in the comments. We'll be drawing a live drawing for a Francisco Solis rookie card autograph. Later in the program here. One lucky winner, maybe one used shoe.
Yeah, 40-year-old rookie. That's that's pretty bad.
Hey, mobility, right? But all kidding aside, you hosted a really neat immigration panel earlier. What was that about?
You know what? It's really just, with so many organizations here and with immigration being top of mind, we wanted to bring in a lot of the top 3 firms, in my opinion, on the panel, and we really wanted to kind of bring in and explain what's in the news, right? Because you always get caught up in the news about immigration, ICE, and all of this, but we wanted to present a very politically agnostic view of facts around immigration and things that people have to consider. So it was great to have, the 3 firms there, our panelists there, and just take questions from different organizations and, provide tips on compliance and just all sorts of things that we really truly should consider as immigration and mobility professionals.
I got to ask you. So, in the news, I don't really know the ins and outs of this stuff, but in the news recently, I heard about the Hyundai raid. And I heard it mentioned a little bit in the session that you hosted. And I was like, yeah, what's that about? Like, can you, what is your takeaway or what did you learn about that?
The Hyundai raid was interesting because, again, it's the government is essentially just targeting different different organizations to do, top name organizations. And Hyundai happened to be one of them.
Yeah. We're going to just let you hold. I'm going to let you hold that.
All right. Yeah, so Hyundai ended up being one of them. And ultimately what happened is they visited the plant and there was many visa holders with the incorrect visa, right? They chose to focus on the name of the organization, but in reality, it was the subcontractors that do work
like
there.
A staffing agency
It
or
was
something like that?
like a contractor workers.
Okay. So
it wasn't truly the Hyundai, the organization itself. It was contractors that were actually with the incorrect visa. But of course, it sounds better in the news when you say Honda.
Yeah, that's the headline, right?
That's a headline,
Sure.
clickbait or however, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to say.
But I mean, ultimately, that just presents us an opportunity as organizations to say, hey, we need to know our population beyond just our own employees. We need to know the contracting firms, our contractors that are visiting, people who are just coming in for business, making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And again, it's like I said on the session, you need to know your population. You need to know who's in and out of your organization.
Yeah, super interesting that was actually the contract. I did not know that. You're right. I just read the headlines. I'm like, oh, Hyundai, that's tough, But then there are implications. I mean, they're talking about, pulling back investment and stuff. So it's super interesting that global mobility has really become front page news these days. For my whole career, it's felt like everyone was saying, oh, we need more of a seat at the table and everything. And it just feels like, we're really in a moment where, it's like, be careful what you wish for.
Exactly.
Because we're front page news now.
If you're an immigration or a mobility professional and you are not talking to your HR leaders right now, something's wrong there. You should be engaging with leaders. You should be engaging with your population. You should be doing training, webinars, anything that you can do to communicate with your people. That's everyone should be doing that all year for the last 2 or 3 years, really.
Yeah, really. Super interesting. I got a question for you. You mentioned something in the session. You have a lot of folks that work at your company. And there's folks out there, and at this, conference and stuff that have large organizations. And I've never worked for a company nearly the size, right? But how do you even keep track of so many people? I mean, you're talking about 100,000 people or something.
Yeah. I mean, technology. I think there was another speaker that mentioned centers of excellence. Just making sure that you have the proper.
Hey guys.
Hey, look at that. We just recreated a classic picture here.
Hey,
look
look
at
at
that.
that.
Just recreating a classic picture here.
We're gonna sign another picture next
Yeah.
time.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
look at that.
All right, that one's pretty
Fantastic.
all thunder.
Making us look bad. Get out of here.
See, now I lost my train of thought here.
Yeah. We're talking about just keep a track of 100,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's leveraging technology, right? And I think one of the things that we also mentioned on the call is making sure that you're partnering with your other stakeholders. It's not immigration and mobility. It's not just us, right? It's talent acquisition, people managers, senior leadership, different countries. Or unfortunately, there's many organizations that work in silos. Mm-hmm. Break down the barrier. Talk to the different offices and just say, hey, let's audit our program. Let's take a look at who we have and just over communicate essentially.
Yeah. Get in the comments here. Hit that like button. Let us know you are out there. We're going to give you a shout out. Mike Quigley over here, always talking about the important stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Says, Francisco Solis, I need a pair of those sneaks.
Ooh.
How would one go about getting a pair of those kicks if they were
Aftermarket.
Aftermarket. Like StockX?
StockX, it was the only way, or if you know it's a sneakerhead that's getting rid of a collection. But StockX, it's going to be a good chunk of change.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so unfortunately, once they're limited, it's very hard to get them.
How do you get a hold of those?
I have a sneaker connection, so I
You got a
usually
connection?
yeah, out of Florida. So he I don't know where he works, but he gets them.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So there's a whole network.
It's a whole network that you have to have.
Hey, man. So I just thought you had immigration providers.
Hey, hit me up.
Nike provider.
You need a visa. You need a sneaker. Let me know
What you need.
What you need. I'll get you. I'll take care of you.
Oh my God, this is great, man. I got a question from This is great, Mike. Quick. Well, Mike's actually got the money too. All he does is float in a pool all day.
There you go.
Hey, but question. I was hearing a lot of conversation around maybe an increase in site visits. Is that what you guys are hearing?
Yeah. So for the last 6 months, there's been an increase in site visits. Originally, it was focused on what they're classifying as ICE rates, right? It's workplaces, whatnot. I think that there's another subsection of site visits that is focusing on. It's not a raid. It's they come in and they randomly select a petition and they want to meet with the individual. They want to validate that it's not a frivolous, application, that they're getting paid what we say they're going to get paid.
Okay.
It's very formal. It's not, obviously, I think someone mentioned on the call, now they're allowed to carry a firearm. So
Yeah,
now
that's wild. USCIS. right?
USAS and the individuals doing the site visit. So now it's going to add an additional layer because you essentially have to give them access to the individual, and it's going to bring the optics are a little bit different when they're walking in with the firearm, right?
But
But
if they're doing a site visit and you're a work from home employee
they're gonna visit you at home
with the piece,
with the piece, yeah, which is again another. I mean, we try
crazy.
we try to plan for the worst, right?
Right.
We have documents. We tell them, hey, someone comes visits you. They have my cell phone, my team's cell phone, our attorney's cell phone. We call up. It's a whole tactical team of support that they'll have.
Right.
But the individuals doing the site visits, it's it sounds like a boogeyman, but they're regular people coming in, doing their job, asking the questions.
Yeah.
As long as you're compliant and doing what you're supposed to, you shouldn't be afraid of it.
it almost feels like how folks prepare for, how companies have to prepare themselves for, like, say, ransomware attacks or something.
Right.
It's like you never know, when something like this is going to happen. But when it happens, this is our process. Boom, 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 boom.
Exactly.
We have providers in place that are going to fall into this protocol,
Yeah.
and we know how to handle these things. We protect ourselves against it, but then when it happens, we know how to start the protocol on it. It almost feels like another sub-industry is going to pop up
Oh, yeah.
around responding to these incidents.
Well,
Like, 'cause you need a
100%.
rapid response.
I mean, you really, honestly, there should be and maybe it already exists, but there should be a prepared or readiness company that can come in and audit your process on various site visits, right? Because it's not just immigration. If they come to your office, the first person that they're going to interact with, receptionist. The receptionist needs to know what they need to, who they need to call, what they're allowed to do, because they're technically they're allowed to go to any lobby or whatnot, but they shouldn't have access to personal files.
So are you saying like maybe like a site visit audit, like company,
Yeah.
like a company do you know of any that do that now?
I mean,
Where they
I
go
think-
in and like basically like secret shop you almost like as if they were
No.
a site visit and
No.
be like, just like how we do fire drills and we do other stuff.
I mean, there should be one.
Almost like
Maybe-
it feels like there could be a need for that.
I mean, maybe
we'll almost start.
There you
doing
go.
that,
Global audit
Yeah.
site readiness company.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
No, but I mean, I think there's some firms that help you audit some parts of it, but not to that level.
Yeah, they'll send you a list and be like, you need to do this, this, and this.
Right,
But it's a
right.
different thing when you show up and you talk to the receptionist. You're like, hey, I'm here with ICE, or I'm here with USCIS, and
Yeah,
and then,
100%.
that'd be
And again, now the additional layer of having a weapon, and what do you do?
What do you do?
Safety and security needs to be involved. Legal needs to be involved. Mobility needs to be involved, and
Yeah. Wow. Super interesting. I mean, I feel like this conference is more timely maybe than it's ever been.
it really is. I mean, I think I like the tone of it, right? I think even Sonia touched on it. It's professionals working together to elevate each other, right? I
Yeah.
think, what is it? Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And so I think it's timely. It's good to network with other organizations to understand what they're dealing with, what they're hearing. And then the vendors provide such great value in providing a lot of information that normally you would have to pay for, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right. You know what? I could talk to you all day about this and kicks and everything, but we have Karen Hale on.
I have to make way for the great,
The
the
magnificent.
legendary Karen Hale.
Let's do it.
I may,
The comments here.
I may get cut out because Karen is here. They're going to cut out my second.
Yeah.
That's just because I talk so much.
Let's go. Karen Hale
I don't know
here.
about this following Francisco.
go.
I don't have
Let's
the footwear.
go. Karen
I
Hale.
don't have
So good
footwear.
to have you here.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? You've never had me on the show before.
I know. This is a first. And I'm
I know,
super
I know.
excited about it.
Super fun.
This is awesome.
I feel really honored. This is make my
No,
week.
the honor is all mine.
You look so much taller than me in that picture, don't you?
It's just
Look.
you know what it is? My butt's really big, and I sit.
I don't know about
sitting
that.
on two phone books.
I think I'm just short. That's
Yeah,
all.
no,
So yeah,
maybe-
you look like twice my height. So
Here we go. What's up?
here,
Here we go. There we go.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
I'm comfortable.
Better.
How's your conference going, Karen?
It is great. It's my first time to come to the SHRM Global,
too.
and
First
so
timer.
you
Long-time
know
listener.
I make some of the other conference rounds, but this is my first time at this
You
one.
make a lot of rounds. I see you speaking. You're very high demand.
I try.
Circuit.
I told someone it's a problem with saying no, so that's really what it is. But
God, you wouldn't be on the show if you didn't. So I appreciate
but no, I love this business. I love the people in this business. I love the outcomes of the hard work that we do. So I'm always happy to talk about it.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you're talking about most often these days, Karen?
Well, we all know immigration's a hot topic at the moment.
I've heard that.
Yeah. A few other things have we were talking a lot about duty of care around COVID, but that's not as hot a topic anymore.
Yep.
Immigration's kind of come up, and then
It almost feels like duty of care was theoretical, and now it prepared us for the practical of what's actually happening now. All of our worst fears with duty of care talks are like happening now, it feels like.
Yeah, I think it's definitely given us a unique framework to consider things through. Like we've been through a series of global crises, so certainly I hope that it's taught us a few things about how to be agile, be flexible, modify our programs, but still meet the needs of our employees and our companies.
Yeah.
But all those lessons are hard learned, but they definitely continue to be relevant on a day-to-day basis. But obviously, the other hot topic that you can't get away from is AI.
Yeah. Oh, AI is
Yeah.
everywhere. Hey, shout out to Tom Groman checking in. What's up, Tom? On the book. Look
Hey.
at Facebook coming through here. Get in the comments, y'all. Hit that like button. We appreciate you. Shout out to Tom. I'll see you in New York. Is AI for real in HR right now, or is it still theoretical?
Pieces are, but I think it's still pretty high level. Some people are using it to help refine emails or, look at a presentation, give feedback. But I did talk with some colleagues in the industry recently about AI, and I tried to ask some probing questions like, "Have you built any AI agents yet?" Or how are you using those? And everybody kind of there's silence. And I actually had a couple like, "Well, what are agents?" So, I think as an industry, historically, we have lagged in the tech space. So
Sure.
it is, it's on us to learn. I'm a little bit old now, people, but I try to get out there and dig in, learn, ask a lot of questions. And I think, we don't have a choice. This is here. It's going to continue to be embedded in all of our technology solutions, all of our work. And if you're not buying in and building
Yeah.
from that, then you're going to get left behind. So it's on us
Yeah.
to seize the moment and take advantage of it.
I would, you know what I would love? I would love to come here and instead of like people telling me that someone that knows how to use AI is going to take my job, or, you know, that, you know, where AI is going. I would love to like do a workshop for 40 minutes where we sit down and actually build an agent. Like,
Oh,
show
yeah.
me how to
Yeah.
build an agent.
Yeah.
Like, let's use Microsoft Copilot or Google Gemini, you know, whatever, you know, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a Microsoft Outlook, you know, office
Yeah.
person, you know, fine. And let's like dig in and actually like, crack our laptops open and build something.
Yeah, we actually, one of the tools that we have available to us internally at Indeed is a tool called Glean. I know some other companies use it. I don't know how many, but it does have the ability for us to build our own agents. I haven't quite gotten there yet trying to do that, but I did see like in the library that we can draw from, somebody in the company built an agent that will just take, you know, you kind of tell it the dates that you were out of the office for PTO or,
Oh, wow.
or any other reason. And it will go through all your emails, summarize the hot topic,
Wow.
give you your tasks and action items at the top
Bless.
and all of that. And so like, let's say you're out 2 weeks in, you know, few minutes, as opposed to the many hours of going through each email individually.
that.
It'll give you all the hot topics for you
Yes.
to start your being refreshed after your break from work.
Heck, and respond to the easy ones too,
Yeah.
why don't you? If
We'll
there's
probably get there. I don't know.
yeah,
if
if
we
there's
can
an
do that yet.
email in this box that actually gives you the data to respond to another email in this box, connect the dots for me, why don't you?
Yeah,
You know?
might not be too long, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just I mean, again, I didn't build it. I can't take credit for it, but it's out there that we can use. And that's just a quick and easy example of something that's available today, not even AI to come. So
Yeah.
we just need to learn and explore and figure out what we can do.
We got to just dig in. We just
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
try
for
it,
sure.
right? Michael Quigley says, I'm hearing AI is kicking out candidates before anyone sees the resume or has a chance to hear them out. Yeah, what a great comment for the two of us, right?
Yeah.
You're with Indeed and I have a recruiting firm. You know, maybe we could talk about this. You know, ATSs are getting a lot of flack right
Yeah.
now for disqualifying candidates.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a problem that we're companies as a whole are going to have to address. Obviously, I don't do recruiting specifically, but Indeed as a company, that's our space.
Yeah.
You know, I think it goes both ways. We're seeing employers overwhelmed by volume of applications
Yeah.
because people are able to use AI to apply for, you know, hundreds of jobs where before it might have been a handful.
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, the AI helping to weed through some of that to take out the people that are truly non-qualified is a viable product, and something that I think companies may not have any choice but to use because of the volume of resumes that are coming in. But at the same time, you know, how do you build the AI in a way that's responsible? So we actually have a team at Indeed. They're our responsible AI team, and they're looking at all these kinds of ethical issues and making sure our products are, you know, treating people fairly, equitably, and making good decisions on, you know, when we're trying to use these tools as both a job seeker and as an employer. But it's a whole field. So we have a whole specialty team that works with our product development team that their job is the ethics of AI.
Yeah, it's a great answer. And Mike, from, you know, my perspective as a recruiter, you know, sometimes candidates aren't qualified and that's why they get kicked out, right? So, and we hear a lot of candidates are like, oh gosh, I'm not getting the job. And it's like, well, you know, not everybody's, you know, the best candidate. That's one, I think I would say. The other thing I would say is, you know, Karen's absolutely right. You know, when there's hundreds of applicants now for a single job, you know, God forbid it's a corporate mobility job opens up and somebody posted on
Maybe.
LinkedIn or Indeed, right?
Yeah.
There's 1,800 of them are probably pretty qualified, right? At least to be interviewed, you know? And so it used to be back in my day, and gosh, back in your day, Mike, right? You had to open the newspaper. I remember how I got my first job. I opened the newspaper before we had Indeed, right?
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Open the newspaper, right? And I'd be lucky to apply to one job a day because I couldn't find anything, you know? You had to know somebody even to just even hear about a job.
Yeah.
And so now we're, confronted with 50 opportunities that sound suitable. And so we're applying to 50 jobs a day. And so there's just, you know, we're in the information age and we're under this deluge of information now. And that is the unfortunate consequence, I think, of it, is that, you can't entertain everybody, you know, unfortunately. But Mike, it's a great point. And I am sympathetic to job seekers out there because there are a lot of good people that are looking for opportunities.
I mean, just like AI is still new and we're not quite sure exactly where it's going or how much it's going to be able to do for us. I mean, I think that's definitely true in the recruiting space as well. So there will be tools built using other tech as well as AI, and they're going to impact recruiting, no doubt. But exactly how that plays out may be an interesting journey for the next few years. But at some point, we'll have to come to something that it works for both job seekers and employers that are hiring, because we got to get people together to match and get those roles filled.
Yeah, I do want to go back to global mobility and its role, right?
Yep.
And have you seen global mobility elevated to a more strategic role in companies, or are we still waiting for that moment?
Probably depends on what company you're in.
Yeah,
a bit.
and probably and maybe the practitioner.
We talked about this a little in the session that I was in earlier today around the strategic role of mobility. And, there's a big difference between a small few thousand person company and one that's 100,000 plus employees globally. It's a lot easier to get that strategic seat at the table in a smaller company, even if you have a smaller program, just because there's less layers to fight through in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
But that being said, bigger companies, not 100% true, but likely to have bigger programs, and therefore the impacts of everything that happens to mobility will have a bigger impact on the bottom line, on workforce planning and things of that sort. So I think it takes a lot of work. Like, it doesn't happen automatically to get that seat at the table or to keep it once you have it. Sometimes we get pulled into crises and then we get forgotten again. So
yes,
yeah,
it's one thing to get in the room, it's something to stay in the room, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So relationships are important, showing values is important, delivering on the commitments you make, and really understanding what your company wants and needs. In the day, they're critical components to really be able to get that attention and continue to provide solutions. Plus the flexibility. A lot of people in-house in corporate mobility these days are doing things that traditionally we probably never considered back in the beginning of our careers. I was 100% an international assignment counselor doing long-term assignments.
Yes.
Back in my original role in this
And
space.
how has your scope and purview evolved?
We have less than a handful of long-term international assignments. A lot of the moves we do are perm transfers, but we also manage immigration, partially own or co-own business travel compliance.
Yep.
And then, I own my team also owns the flex work program, so temporary remote work.
Yeah, that was an
relocation
interesting
training,
development with COVID, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's very popular. Like, that is our highest volume program at Indeed. So last year we had almost 4,000 requests out of 12,000 global employees.
Yeah.
That ran through my team. So very popular benefit at the company and one their employees take advantage of, but a huge volume of work. So.
Yeah, that's so interesting, as it's one of those be careful what you wish for things. Like, so you want more responsibility, you want more importance, you want more significance, here you go,
Yeah.
And now you got to learn stuff that you never signed up for, right?
Well,
how do you do that? How do you stay kind of adaptable and learn all that stuff?
Well, one way is obviously come to places like this, at the conference today, because we certainly, hear from each other, talk to each other, get suggestions. To me, it's about a toolkit. You assemble as many ideas as you can, and then when the time is right, based on what your company needs, what you need to do, you pull those tools out of the toolkit. So we mentioned, we were talking earlier about you could design if there was such a thing, a perfect program on paper, but it may not work for the space you're in, not for your culture, not for the business needs. So you really have to have all that range of solutions and friends that help keep your brain going on other ways of getting work done in order to, again, plug in the right solution in the right situation at the right time.
Yeah, because some of these roles are kind of technical, like immigration, right? It's one thing to be like, okay, we're gonna move your household goods, or we're gonna write a policy for this. It's another thing to like really understand, all the compliance-driven aspects and the risks around it, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Suppliers are critical in the space too, because none of us, even an immigration attorney in one of the big firms, isn't going to know all the ins and outs of every regulation in every country around the world. So you have to have that network of both corporate professionals as well as supplier contacts to, again, continuously be curious, learn, evolve, grow. But, sometimes we can't find solutions that maybe we weren't expecting. And so being creative while also enforcing policy and regulations is an interesting part of our job. And it's one of the reasons I love it.
Yeah. Great Great stuff, Karen. This is great.
All right,
We got to
well,
do this more often.
yes,
Thank you
invite
so
me
much.
back. I'll be happy to join.
Yes. Okay, you hear
Great to
that?
see everybody out
Karen's
there.
coming back. All right, Daisy.
All right, I'm gonna get my friend Lady Rose over
Oh,
here.
I love it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear there might be a story.
Oh, we got
Coming up.
stories.
Oh,
Story time.
Yes.
Hey, get in the comments, hit that like button. Thank you so much, Karen Hill. Awesome. What's up? Hey, Lady Rose, how you doing? Let me give you a little handshake here. How you doing?
hold this like
We're doing that now. Yeah, we had it here, but it was too far. And now we're like, it is on a stand, but now we've collapsed the stand.
Okay.
We're holding it. You can do a two-handed hold as well if you want.
Okay.
It's kind of up to you, however you choose to do it, you know? Whatever's clever.
How are you doing today?
I'm awesome. You know, it's the end of the conference. I'm buzzing a little bit with just all the friendship and the fun. How are you doing?
Networking,
Yeah.
fresh faces,
Yeah.
old and new.
Old and new friends, yeah.
Great. It's been a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard there's a story.
What's the
I
story?
don't know. I heard there may be a story. Let's get your name up there too. Lady Rose Kvetek. How do I say it?
VTech.
VTech, no, okay. VTech.
Yeah.
Lady
With
Rose
CSG
VTech.
With CSG International.
With CSG International. Got that, Sammy? All right. She's going to get you hooked up. So I was told from the green room that there was a story.
What's the story?
I don't know. It said there may be a story. No, I guess not. Anyway.
I know. There's so many stories. I mean, there's stories all week.
Yeah.
talking about
What was your
everything?
what was your favorite part of the conference this week?
This is my first SHRM.
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting.
First term at all?
First SHRM at all. First
Wow.
SHRM at all.
What was your impression?
I loved it. I loved seeing a lot of new faces, and I kind of branched out from my normal like kind of global mobility immigration space. Went to some new sessions, and I was in a session and didn't know anybody. So it was kind of
That's kinda cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Talking about
it's
stuff that like
weird,
I
but
kinda
it's
knew
kind of
about,
cool.
but also didn't know about.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I bring this into my life and make my company better?
I like going into rooms where I don't know anybody. It feels like opportunity. It's always awkward,
Yeah.
but if you're in a room where you know everybody, like you're limited in some
Yeah.
ways.
Well, it's also like, you go to these conferences or like, if my normal space is global mobility and you see a lot of the same faces, you hear a lot about the same topic.
Right.
It was nice to just kind of get a fresh take on everything. Some
Yeah.
critical takeaways.
You turn her level up. Yeah.
Do I
what
need to
about
talk
him-
louder?
No, you have a nice soft voice, and I just want to make sure we get y'all hooked up in there. Let me ask you this: what are you hearing in terms of like immigration? I know that's such a hot area, right now, and
It is.
What are your
And it's always evolving, right? Like immigration really does keep like myself, my team, just, anybody that's kind of dealing with immigration kind of on their toes. It always changes with the administration, I don't like to try to make it political, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's always changing with the administration. And right now it's tough. Right now it's really tough for employers. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of regulations that are stricter. Makes it tough for employees and employers that are taking care of their foreign nationals. And you want to make sure that you're taking care of your foreign nationals and their families, making sure that they feel safe. Immigration's it's a tough topic and it causes a lot of anxiety. So that's why I love being a subject matter expert in it, because if I can alleviate some of that anxiety that comes with all the changes, I want to bring that to my team as well as the employees that we support.
talk to me a little bit about why working in immigration is so important to you.
So I'm first generation. So I was born in the U.S. My parents are Filipino, both of them born in the Philippines. And I really take pride in being first generation and coming here and my family coming here as an immigrant. It really just changes my perspective on kind of what my parents went through. As foreign nationals themselves, I remember sitting at the table, at the kitchen table, or actually them sitting at the table with their immigration lawyer, kind of grueling over the paperwork. It took such a long time. It took like well over a year, maybe if not a few years.
Wow.
And I watched them go through that and how powerful and how passionate they were about becoming U.S. citizens. I remember I was like 13 or 14 and it was at my parents' oath ceremony and they both went to their oath ceremony together. And my mom was crying at her oath ceremony.
Wow.
Just crying. And she was just so like, never seen that before. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You kind of take it, I don't know, maybe take it for granted when you're born
Yeah.
here. And
Oh,
then,
100%. You take American citizenship for granted 100% when you're born here.
Yeah.
And, we talk about patriotism and we talk about, America, 4th of July, all the stuff. But in my experience, from what I've learned, especially being in global mobility and being exposed to so many folks who not only have immigrated, but also help others immigrate, nobody loves America more than an immigrant.
Yeah, 100%. And
Like-
I think that's really like kind of what really fueled the passion that I have to working with foreign nationals, like U.S. immigration. Like I started there, like I always kind of want to always be involved in that, no matter if it's global mobility or talent acquisition, or no matter what part of the business I'm in. It's just I've grown such a passion for it, and and it's because I've seen my parents go through it, and I want to support other families and other people in creating that opportunity that they came to the U.S. for.
Yeah, that's super cool.
You know?
And now you get to be a part of that journey for so many people. And it's such a generational change for people. It's not only a new job,
Yeah.
right? It's our family is going to a new place, and now their kids and their kids' will have access to different opportunities.
100%.
Like,
The
that's a
opportunity.
big deal.
It's an opportunity. I remember one of the VPs or directors at one of my old employers asked me one time, he's like, what do you think the purpose of, like, what is like the main takeaway or like critical thing about coming to US is? Like, what is that? Like, what are people striving for? It's opportunity.
Yeah.
It's that opportunity, you know, career, personal life, your kids, like all of that freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool that we have that opportunity to help others find that opportunity. And it really, I think, gives this industry such a sense of purpose when we really stop to think about it.
100%.
And
Yeah.
that's neat.
Yeah, like if you can step out of the day to day, step
Yeah.
outside of the email.
It might take a couple
and the
steps,
meeting.
right? Like a couple steps out of the email.
Yeah, a lot of steps maybe, but just like that big picture of what we're really
Yeah.
doing, and we're helping people. And I think innately we want to help people, right? So, and being able to help people at such a critical juncture in their life, if
Yeah.
they're moving or finding a new job, or getting a work visa, or getting their kids dependent visas, like. It's globally or within the U.S., it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, well, I'm getting emotional now too, you know? Gosh, I don't know if it's just
I
that
know,
time
right?
of day or
It's like-
what, but
Yeah. All
anyway.
that passion.
Yeah, for real. Anyway, Daisy, are we good? I think we're all set, right?
Awesome.
Want to make sure we include everybody that we said we're going to include. Lady Rose,
Thank
before
you for
we
having
maybe before we kind of sign off, you want to leave people with a final thought or final word?
Final word. Well, one of the common takeaways or just like tidbits from today's throughout the sessions was transparency. However you bring that into your role and, into your company, it's all about transparency. So I think I believe in that.
Yeah.
Transparency can lead
Awesome.
to good things.
All right, we're going to be transparent. We have one more guest actually.
All right.
So is that Edna? Edna Gutierrez.
Thanks for having me.
Edna Gutierrez. Hey,
Thank
Lady
you.
Rose, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. It was so awesome to meet you. Awesome. Let's go. Finishing strong with Edna Gutierrez.
Live. Oh, you
Yes.
didn't tell me that.
Yeah, hey. Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks
Awesome.
for having me.
Yes, you are the last guest
Yay, me.
of the final hour of the conference here.
Okay.
Just how's it been? Just wrap it up for people. Let people know
Oh,
what's it been like.
It's been amazing. We started off really strong today with Paige Failing. Failing is the correct pronunciation of the name.
I know. I kind of thought it was failing, and she said failing. I was like, well,
Failing, yeah.
if you're failing, that's fine.
Yeah, but feeling your feelings and failing like a
Yeah.
grape. But she was amazing, high energy, very dynamic.
Super great. So,
authentic,
yeah.
I felt.
I loved her.
So yeah, we got lucky this year. We have 2 keynotes, so we're finishing right now with John Ferguson. Very dynamic, also very interactive. He's got a lot of fun music, which I can appreciate.
Nice.
But yeah, we've had a lot of really great speakers, great exhibitors. So yeah, it's been wonderful.
Yeah. Well, this has been my first time at the Texas SHRM Global Business Conference, and I'm just blown away by the quality and caliber of the folks. Oh, there goes the keynote right behind us. There's
Oh,
Paige.
yeah, that was Paige.
Yeah, there she goes. You see a little celebrity there. There you go. But no, I've just been blown away with the caliber of folks. It's just been really incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're running late. Honestly, we're a bit over here, so I don't want to stretch it too long. Daisy's just like, yeah, let's just throw more wood on the fire.
everybody and everybody,
You know,
yeah.
we're just having a good time. Just like, yeah. But I wanted to ask you a little bit because, I don't know much about McDermott, but I wanted to ask you from your vantage point, what are some of the kind of hot trends and topics that you're talking about in your job?
So my job, we are a global company. We're in the oil and gas space. We're engineering, procurement, and construction. So a lot of these mega construction projects that go on. And we have a really awesome footprint globally. We're in all kinds of spaces. A lot of it, again, being in oil and gas. Some of these more unique,
Yeah.
diverse places that
Sure.
you don't necessarily.
You got to go
think of.
find the gas. You got to find the oil.
Yeah. But it's been really good. Some of the trends I'll say that we've been seeing is some complications with immigration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
You
think
too?
That's the big one.
Yeah.
Both inbound to the U.S. and out to other countries. That's probably been our biggest.
Well, there's a lot of countries that are going through some of the same things that we're going through here. It feels like, last year it sounded like over half the countries had an election, and it's like, wow, with that many countries, going through and maybe 60% of the world's population or something impacted by that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
All of
it's
the
a lot.
the politics on it will really drive your, obviously, policies. And what is and is not allowed, what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
Where we operate, we want to be very mindful of the communities that we're impacting as
Sure.
well. So, you hear a lot about ESG, and what we do in those communities. For example, we're in Africa in both Uganda and Angola, and we purposefully make sure that we are giving back to those communities, whether
Sure.
that's empowering them and hiring workers locally, or doing specialized trainings. We really want to make sure that we're leaving a positive footprint.
That's really cool. A little piece of Love and Relo trivia. I actually had the Archbishop of Uganda on the show before.
I don't know who that is.
I didn't either. And I was like, hey, yes, sir. How are you, sir? And it was super late there, and he was very old. But he came on, and it was really cool because.
Were you in Uganda?
No, I was chilling in Texas, and I'm like, and I interviewed him
That's cool.
virtually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That counts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I count it.
Yeah.
And no, it was cool because one of our friends of the show actually has a charity out there that supports young people learning skills and trades
Yeah.
out in Uganda. Yeah, super cool. And another friend of ours from I guess not Time Warner anymore. It's Time Warner Discovery, all the things. Anyway, Andrew Jackson, he goes to Angola every year. To help them as well. So it's interesting that you mentioned that. But, oil and gas seems like it's such a kind of I don't know if hot industry is the right term or not, but it's just, it's a very cyclical industry, and it seems like it's a good time.
An evergreen kind of industry as well. It's, we lovingly refer to it as a dinosaur. Oil and gas may not always be the leader in some of these trends, but they certainly do provoke a lot of different policies. So you have what we kind of call in the industry, your operators versus your kind of field support. McDermott would be more of a field support type of company. But we have our clients, which are those operators that we're building these massive structures for, and we follow in their footsteps, like what values they have is kind of what drives the industry.
Yeah.
And I think you can see that in any industry. I think, you have your leaders, and then it kind of just cascades down.
Yeah, for sure. Getting the comments, hit that like button. We got Daisy checking in there. Immigration continues to be such a hot topic. Oh yeah, tagging USI law. Very cool. Yeah, nice. Very cool, Edna. Well, gosh, we're a little over time here, and I know the conference is ending soon. I kind of want to hear the keynote wrap up in there. But you want to leave us maybe with just a final thought as we sign off?
I have no idea.
It doesn't have to be like super
Be
prolific.
good people.
There you go. Be good.
Be good.
Be good, y'all.
Yeah.
Be nice out there. See y'all later. Thanks, everybody. It's been a blast. We're going to go have a good time out here in Austin. Take care, everybody.